It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the...
Cool. Here with Graham Tubby Alford. How many have you won now, mate?
4.
4 out of how many that the club's
we've
won?
won 7. Yeah.
Won 4 out of 7. You've gone Rosanna, Heritage.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself underdogs all 3 years, or would there one going in there that you would have gone in favourites?
I thought we were good things last year.
Yep.
The previous year was the famous playoff with
Pete Sherwin.
when he got hold of Donny the Dart.
Iceman or Moan, as I like to call it.
Yeah, well, when the heat came on, he wasn't there.
Yep.
And Pete was.
Yep.
Last year, I thought we had a really good side.
Yep.
And we won pretty convincingly.
Yep.
This year, apart from Brash, everyone, the Heritage opponent was 2 shots better on handicap.
Yep. So what do you think, you know, a bit like Hawthorn in the AFL, what do you think you guys just get the job done when it matters?
It's the culture.
Yep.
We've developed a culture over the years that it's all about the team.
Yep.
So guys play in different positions if we think that's going to give us the best outcome.
Yep.
And it means more to them.
Yep.
So we keep holding pups and it's not a fluke.
Yep.
And all year, Georgie Cotarudi, Steve Valentine, Brash, Pancho, they all found ways to climb out of a hole and get up.
Yep.
And we just keep doing it. So it's not a fluke, it's purely the culture, and that's Jimmy with the rap.
I was just about to say that. What influence do you think Jimmy, you know, Alex Ferguson, you know, has brought with the rap and getting the whole club involved?
Not
Alex
just Ferguson, you're putting a fair
I'm pumping him up.
Yeah, pumping him up. Jimmy's fantastic. He's easily good enough to play.
Yep.
He played one game this year, but the rap brings it all together. It keeps everyone informed, and you've only got to see the reaction of the guys who've finished and are waiting for the others to come in.
Yep.
They all wait around the room.
Yep.
All the other teams, their opponents walk off and have a drink and couldn't give a shit about
their side. Yeah.
Whereas it's all about the team.
Yeah.
And that's why we've won 7 out of 14 and we'll make it 8 out of 15.
You've won 4. What's the highlight, do you think, over those 4? Including, you know, I suppose the personal highlight from this year, but even so over those 4 years.
Winning the 4, it's just been part of a group who are not selfish.
Yep.
When I was doing Jimmy's job a few years ago, coming into a final, Johnny Doggett rang me and said, look, I've played in a couple of flags, leave me out, give someone else a game. Rowan McLean's done the same. There was times when Rowan was playing number 1 off 5. And he's going up against, and we had 3 or 4 players on 5. And I had both Rowan and Pickers ring me and say, look, I'm happy to go number 1 and take the hiding. I think we can win 2 and 3. So the highlight's just being a part of it, and also being a part of so many memorable comebacks. I mean, when we won out at Easton in 2-10, and the bloke it all came down to my match actually, and the bloke I was playing was 3 up with 4 to play. And the their captain came around and said to him the 15th, he said, if you win this game, we win.
No pressure though. No pressure. If you win this, we win.
The bloke collapsed, and you know, it was. I remember this year at Greenacres when Panch had the hole at 10-foot upella, and Brash came out of the bunker, and was just off the green and hold it.
Right.
And we just kept doing it.
Thanks, Tim. Tim Coulson, who's just interrupted us on our video.
When we talk about the culture and the guys wanting to be part of it, it's interesting how many of the guys who aren't playing that week, if they're not working, will come out and caddy. You have to ask them, they want to do it. And you look compared to the other sides, the other sides just don't do it. And they wonder why in the clinches they can't find that extra bit. And you know, it's just been the same. Peter Riley, Vinny Tozer. I mean, you can just keep going. Everyone keeps finding something.
Last question, mate, and this is I don't want a sort of glass-eyed, you know, line and length type response. This is a chance to pot some money in the crowd. Who would you consider the weirdest bloke on your side?
The weirdest player.
Weirdest.
I don't think we've got anyone that's weird.
Good answer.
Stevie Valentine, I don't know if he's got new clubs yet, but I'm sure they were hand-me-downs from Ben Hogan. And I mean, I caddied for him last year in the final, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was born in 1949, and I would have been trading these clothes as a kid. But apart from Steve, I don't think we've got any real weirdos. I mean, we've just got a lot of guys who, and look, at our age, where can you play a team sport?
Yeah.
That we used to play when we were younger, footy or all that sort of stuff, and that's what I really enjoy, you know. And you know, we played fair. We don't, you know, we don't drama queens, but I just love that they all hate us. I mean, there's nothing better. I was walking off, and someone said to me after the final, "I suppose it's bloody Kew again."
Well, mate, thank you. I'm looking forward to your MCing work on the night.
It's going to be a big night.
It's going to be a good night. Cheers.
If you feel like a room without a roof, because I'm clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth, because I'm clap along if you know what happiness is to you, because I'm clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down, and let me tell you now. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down.
Time, Steve. How many flags have you played in? How many senior flags?
I've played in the last two.
What do you think you guys just do enough to get over the line?
There's something about this squad that is very powerful, and that is the camaraderie and care for each other, and the care for our club. I sense it in the way we play, and I sense it in the way our membership follows us.
Yes.
You know, we get a lot of following. We feel that energy. We feel that energy between us as players, but also from the followers, and I think that's the big difference.
Your match, your final match at Earing was different.
Yes.
You know, I think when I left, you were 3 down.
Yes.
Probably halfway through your match, and then you've suddenly, you know, been able to turn it around. What are you sort of thinking when you're 3 down? You know, after about 9, was it 9 or 10 or something?
Well, I was 3 down after 10.
After 10,
and it occurred to me that all along that if it had to be, it was up to me. So it was in my hands to play well. I knew if I could play well, it would happen. And I was grinding. But on holes 11 and 12, things started to change. And I could feel the momentum swing, and perhaps my opponent, who was grinding also, he could feel it as well. I dropped the bomb on 17, which helps. And even though I had every chance to par the last, I was very happy to have a soft half and take it 1 up.
So you're 1 up coming to the last, and both bogeyed.
Yeah, we both bogeyed.
Beautiful.
Both bogeyed, but that was sufficient.
What was, and you can also go back to last year too. What was your probably highlight this year? You know, throughout the whole year, was the final and coming back from that far down.
The final was really, really exciting. Of course, to turn around and win for myself, for sure. But when I could see all the other players working so hard, I saw Peter Sherwin drop a putt to change a half to a hole, or a hole to a half.
Hole to a half.
I saw Johnny Doggett up and down from an impossible bunker on 18 to do the same. I suppose the big highlight for me, it really fired me up, was the win at Greenacres. Now, we were all on the last green waiting for the last 2 groups to come up, Brash and Panch. And those boys had to, I think, win their holes for us to win the match 5.5, 4.5. And they dropped putts
from
everywhere. Brash dropped one from off the green, and Panch from about 10 foot, and we were punching the air and running around like idiots. It was fantastic. that was great.
Cool. What with your that's really last question, Steve. Your fearless manager Jim Pitt.
Yeah.
What does he contribute to the win? It's awesome how he does all the raps and everything, and he seems like he's got everyone under control. What can you say about Jim?
Oh, Jim's a wonderful thinker. He's a wonderful communicator. We're very lucky and privileged to have such a terrific bloke in charge of our team. And of course he can play. We'd love him to play because he would fit, he'd be playing singles easy anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. You're a super fella, and we love what you do, and we'd love to see you keep it coming for many more seasons to come. But don't deny yourself, you can play as well.
The heart is a balloon, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you'd found a friend to take you out of this place, someone you could lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day, sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day to let it get away on the road.
Okay, here I am with the manager of the Kew Senior Pennant team, Jim Pitt. Welcome, Jim. Jim, we were talking just before we got onto camera. Kew's won how many flags in the last 10 years?
I've won 7 flags since the 13 years that the competition's been going.
Yep.
Kew has won 7.
Yep.
Played in 8, unfortunately lost 1.
Lost 1, yep. And you were telling me that on 2 occasions they've gone back to back and not been able to secure that third one in a row. This is the first time over that history they've been able to get 3 in a row.
That's correct. 1 in 2006 and 7, missed 8 and 9, 1
Yep.
10, 11,
Yep.
missed 12, 13,
Yep.
1 13, 14, should have missed 16, but got 16.
Got 16. What do you, and you've been a part of the last 3 as manager?
As manager I have, yes, and
Yep.
I came to Kew in 2010, so I played in the 10 and 11 ones.
Yep.
Managed the last 3 years.
Yep.
I got coerced into the job.
Yeah. So Jim's too modest to actually say that that's the reason why we've won 3 in a row, but I'll say it for him. Alex Ferguson of the Senior Pennant system. What do you think? Especially since I've been in the last sort of 3 years, we've virtually gone in potentially underdogs 2 out of those 3 years. Maybe last year we possibly went in as favourites, but definitely against Rosanna 3 years ago, and this year we could have, would have been said, even though we've been so dominant, we would have went in underdogs. What do you think that the team lifts in that final match to actually get over the line?
Well, it's not just the finals match, it's actually getting there that makes the difference.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest, we have scraped into the final.
Yep.
Really, every one of those 3 years.
Yep.
Just by winning the matches during the rounds this year, we had won 3 of our contests by 5.5, 4.5.
Yeah,
you
right.
can't get any closer than that.
No.
And in fact, I think 28 of our 80 matches went down the 18th.
Wow.
And our team just somehow seems to
Yep.
get over the line. And
Yep.
I think it's a real team spirit.
Yep.
We're out there supporting one another. And
Yep.
I had one player say to me, one down going up the 18th, that I'm not going to lose this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he didn't lose it.
Yeah.
So that's the really important thing, I think.
Yeah, is because even in the final, we had Steve Valentine sort of 3 down at some stage, and we had a lot of matches, you know.
Well, we were
either-
6-4 down at the turn.
Yeah.
And we managed to get up
Yeah.
5.5, 4.5.
Yeah.
So that's the fighting spirit.
Yes.
The fighting spirit.
Yep. Yep.
Drives the opposition mad, I might tell you.
Yeah. You mentioned that Steve Valentine had Steve Williams apparently on his bag.
Well, yes, he did have Steve Williams on his bag, and when he was 3 down at the turn, Stevie said to him, "Now look, I don't back losers. Steve, you get your act together."
Andrew Tiger's going to give you a call.
There you go.
Yeah. The other thing that's been really popular around the club, and it's helped to bring the rest of the club on the road with the senior pennant, has been the rap on Friday nights, because you know people can hear what the results are, but you give this brilliant sort of blow by blow description on how we've gone and who's playing well and who's not playing well. Where did all that come from?
Oh, Tubby's got to take the credit for starting that.
Yep.
He did that about 5 years ago, and then very cunningly went off on one of his overseas trips, and
Yep.
he asked for somebody to take some notes for him so he could write it up while he was away. And like a fool, I said, "Oh, look, I'll do it for you."
Well played, Tubby.
And
Well played.
the rest is history. He won't take
Yeah.
the job back.
Yeah, nice. This year we've had or the last 2 years we've had a couple of good inclusions into the side, which would be considered the juniors of the pennant side. How do you do you make them get the oranges, get the cordial around for everyone else?
No, I wouldn't dare.
No?
I wouldn't do that. Oh, no, they're just as important. In fact, they're more important in some ways, although nobody's any more important than anybody
Yeah.
else. Everybody
Yeah.
puts in, even the higher handicappers in the team. But
Yeah.
it is a luxury to have a couple of low markers,
Yeah.
because that's what we've struggled with really
Yeah.
over many years.
Yes.
But with Brashy in this year, that makes a difference. I'm not sure who's eligible for next year. We'll find out.
Yep. Big question. Do you think we can win it again next year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's 7 other clubs or whatever there is.
There's
that
8
don't,
other
but-
clubs trying like hell to make sure we don't.
Yep. Yeah.
And it'll be tough.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you just got to win one more match than your opponents each
Mhm.
contest, and,
Yeah.
and you're there.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, on behalf of all the club, Jimmy, you do an amazing job. We'll see you tonight and hope everyone's having a great time.
Right.
Thanks.
See the tuna fleets clearing the sea out. See the